All right, here's the plan. We're building an indoor grow space, but not just any grow space. This one's for Kyle Kushman. Yeah, that Kyle Kushman. The man, the myth, the cannabis legend. Strawberry Cough OG, High Times veteran, grower of growers. And the space he wants to build, he's calling it Tentchella. Because when Kyle does indoor growing, it's not just cultivation, it's a whole damn experience. We could not do this alone, so we enlisted Dan from Weed in a Pot and Mike from Mosaic Exotics to make it all possible.
Oh my goodness, guys. This is a project and a half. I feel like we're doing Coachella together. Like, you know, we're gonna be bonded for life. Yeah. So what we've got here is a 10 by 20 Bud Box Pro, straight from England, and we're gonna uncrate this thing. All right, here we go. Oh. There you go. Wow, that's packed up all real nice. Those are the tarps. Poles. You know what? I might just have to make a flower bed out of this. A 4x8, which is 6'6", to go inside this 10 by 20, which is 7'4". And yeah, so we're setting up this most amazing climate-controlled Tentchella 2025.
I've never built something this big before.
I haven't.
So, what? You built a 10 by 20? The biggest I built is like 10 by 8, about 40. And then 40 by 8. Yeah.
Plan Tentchella.
Dude, that was a bit of a hassle, but we did it.
We did it.
We did it.
So, this is our main tent.
Yeah.
Where do you want the veg tent?
Okay, so I'm thinking the best use of space would be to put the 4x8 in the back corner there. Just leaving enough room. I mean, we probably butt it right up against the back.
Okay.
And then the 4 lights will get spaced nice and even right there. So if you draw midpoint, right?
Midpoint.
Okay. And then, so these 4 lights are gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so for heating and cooling, our AC is going to be outside the tent. We'll have our AC out here.
No, that one's good.
This
That
one
one
can
has to
be
be
inside.
Because
okay.
it vents, it throws its air inside.
So AC inside here in the corner.
Venting out the back.
Venting out.
And draining.
Your vent.
Right.
And then we're gonna have our dehu inside. Where would you want your dehu? By the AC?
Typically, right, so that I could utilize the same drain area.
Right. So in here, in our 4x8 veg tent, what are we looking for?
Well, we're gonna put up the 3 GL250s.
GL250s, LEDs. Okay.
We're gonna have a CO2 set up in here.
CO2 in here.
Tank on the floor.
Tank, is it outside or inside? Tank's outside.
Right? So I should put the CO2 here,
Okay, CO2 here.
because that doesn't need any venting.
Right.
And then we'll put the AC back here in this corner.
Right where the exit
Right,
is.
right,
Got
exactly.
you.
So then, the flowering stage, you want the VPD to be a little bit higher, you want it to be drier, maybe a little bit hotter, soaks in more nutrients and less chance of mold. Because of that, all we need to do in here is to lower the VPD. A lot of times in the veg, and if you're doing seedlings in here, you want to be a little bit more humid, and you might want it to be a little bit cooler. So, along with the AC, I do think we should have a humidifier in here.
I just had a thought. Why don't we use this AC as the dehumidifier?
Oh, it
Not as
naturally
the
does
AC.
that. Yeah. So it naturally does both.
So then, that's perfect, because all I need to make sure is that I can humidify
Right.
and dehumidify. Cooling is not going to be quite so necessary because it's going to be picking up here. It's mostly about getting the humidity right.
But then we're going to assume your humidity here is exactly what you want in here, right?
No, because when I'm rooting clones and rooting seeds, I'm going to want it, 65, or even when I'm just vegging, I might want it 65, and then over here I could be 5th week of flowering, 6th week of flowering, and I only want it 50%, or at least at night. So that's why we need 2 controls for sure.
So then this will always be more humid than here, right?
Either the same or more humid.
So then there actually isn't even a need for a dehumidifier in here. You just need a humidifier.
Except for the rare time when it's summer like this and I'm on different light schedule, and so this is closed up, and the humidity, and I've just watered, put in 10 gallons of water in there, and the humidity is 85.
And the best part is the AC will do that because it's pulling in air from the lung room. So anytime it turns on, it cools and dehumidifies.
But is there ever a point when I needed to just dehumidify without cooling?
That would have to change the vents of the AC then.
So, we definitely need a humidifier here and a humidifier here.
Yes.
And we definitely need a dehumidifier here and a dehumidifier here. The only thing that we definitely don't need is cooling in here.
Okay, you can do that. Yeah, you just swap that out for dehu and then
That's
you're done.
what we do because I'm never going to need to cool this at night. I never need to get this cold.
Right.
It's never going to need to be colder than this room, ever. There's never a single scenario where this spot needs to be colder. In fact, most of the time, everything's going to be open. It's going to be one space for a lot of the veg. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
But this is never going to need to be colder. Because this room can always be 83, 84, even 85 degrees. Always, whether I'm cloning, whether I'm sprouting, whether I'm just vegging, it can always be 85 degrees. So the only time that this is going to struggle a little bit is when I have this at 85 too, which means they're in the exact same stage, which means I can open the door.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, you can do that.
Right?
For sure.
It'll work.
So we're never so we're not necessarily using this as a lung room. They're 2 different environments.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Yeah, they're not actually playing to each other anymore. They're sharing the same.
Controlled separately.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Controlled separately, but then they're sharing the cooling.
Right.
Yeah. Everything else, it's going to be 2 separate environments, and it works great because there's no intake or exhausted air, so you're going to have neutral pressure, so you're not going to lose anything that you put in. If you put in cold, if you put in heat, if you put in humidity, you put in dehumidification, it's going to maintain that for longer periods of time.
And the tent is so large, I'm going to have fans over here or over here that's circulating all of this to over here, if necessary, because I'm also trying to cool my studio.
Studio space right here.
Right.
So how big do you want the studio space to be?
The studio's going to be over here, but that's the very last concern because that's just art. That's just decorative.
Right.
So we just need to run all the wiring, all the cords, and start placing stuff. And this is going to be more environmentally controlled than my home.
For sure. For sure. Yeah.
Well, that's the plan.
Anything else?
How come you wanted higher CO2 for the vegetative stage but not the flowering stage?
Well, no, I'm just saying like at the very end, let's say at the last 2-3 weeks of ripening. And so once the rate of photosynthesis ramps down, there's no need for 1,200 parts per million anymore. But basically it's the same as with the AC.
So then this is then cooling everything, this is adding CO2 to everything, but they have their own dehumidifications.
No, we didn't say, we have CO2 here too.
Oh, that's why. That's why I was like, is this bleeding out to
No,
it?
it's not.
That makes sense.
CO2
Yeah, 2 different
controls.
CO2 controls. Perfect. Yeah, you only provide it when you need it.
Right. And so as far as the smart controller goes, I would dedicate it to this room.
Okay, there's
So it's 2 controllers.
Yeah, we have both. We could do both.
You just have
AI
one
here,
each.
AI here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. I didn't know that. So they're truly virtually separate. I'm gonna have on my app, I'm gonna have veg tent, main tent.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna run them separately.
Exactly.
Okay,
Plan.
let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, to be perfectly honest, the reason why I'm going through all of this, other than the reason like you can, is because I wanted to create something bombastic for the internet. I wanted to show something bombastic. So, you know, I got together with my friends at Budbox Tents and my friends at AC Infinity and some friends with Soil and Newts. And the next thing you know, I had a 20 by 10 foot tent delivered to my house from the UK with a brand new 4x8 to go inside. And the idea was to create an all-in-one room. Now this room, before I had the tents here, I had a 10 by 10 over here, and I had a 4x8 over here, and I had my flowering room, and I had my bedroom. So I just figured, why not put it all in one space? We have the technology, we can build it, this kind of thing, you know? And so that was the inspiration. It was just because you could. And so now I've got my bed chamber, my seedling, my cloning room over here. And then I have this immense space over here for the flowering. And during the daytime, I can incorporate them both into one environment, you know, and do all my work during the day. And then around 8 o'clock, when the sun goes down, I zip this up. This gets its break from 8 to midnight. And this goes off from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. And this will have its own environment for the nighttime. And then 8 a.m. comes again. I come in here and zip it open and say hi to all the ladies.
And how did you set up, like what type of equipment is in here? How is everything set up for the environmental controls?
It's a hodgepodge of things that I've been using over the years, you know. I like a certain lighting company, and that comes from Hydrofarm. I like their Active Air DHUE and AC. So those are really commercial units, pretty much. And it's all tied together really with all of the AC Infinity brains. All of the brains is AC Infinity. And the amazing thing is, it's right down to the fans. Like, if I had pumps, if I wasn't hand watering, everything would be controlled by AC Infinity, and that's what Mike here is programming right now. He's programming all these functions for me. Like I said, I was saying, like, it would be like me hunting and pecking to try to get it all done, you know? And he's just programming, you know, telling the lights to run at a certain percentage of brightness for the cycle that I want it to run. And then he's telling the humidifier, you know, I want it to be this percentage of humidity during the day. And I run a completely different environment at night. So he's making these automations which tell it what to do differently at day and differently at night for every one of the appliances. All of the fans can be set to different settings day and night. The humidifier, dehumidifier, AC, everything has a day and a night set point that is completely variable and instantly adjustable from my phone.
Is there a need for inline fans then?
I'm running a sealed environment for the most part. So during the day, when anything's running, it's completely sealed. And then because my night is off at 8 p.m., that gives me a chance to just open the tent and off-gas everything naturally, but just let the CO2 out. You don't really want to keep the high CO2 levels through the whole night cycle. It prevents the stomata from closing and opening, which is a really important function for the plant. So I can do that manually. I suppose an inline fan would be really advantageous if I didn't live at home, wasn't such a homebody. But basically that's the only thing I have to do with the tent is just vent it for the CO2 for a couple of hours at night. And other than that, everything seems to be completely automated. We've got the Terraforma in the back of the second tent back here, which when this is zipped up tight, it'll keep the humidity in check in here. I also have the AC Infinity humidifier, the wonderful warm mist humidifier. So everything is completely controlled separately. So right now we're standing here during the day cycle. There's no need to have this zipped up and have appliances in here also running this separately. It's just very convenient to have this controller basically running everything out here. I mean, the CO2 comes on sometimes, the humidifier comes on occasionally, but it's really meant to be able to just close it up and do two things separately. And if I wasn't home, everything would run fine. The only difference would be the flower room wouldn't get off-gassed of CO2 at night.
So the last piece is the CO2 injection throughout the day?
Absolutely. I don't know if you're coining it as the last piece, but yes, I actually have separate CO2 injection for both rooms. Yeah, I have to have one in here because this one gets sealed up for itself for at least 12 hours of the day.
We had an amazing time converting this empty room with a ceiling fan into this awesome grow space without a ceiling fan. And a huge thanks to Kyle and Co for including us to help make this happen. We're honored to have provided all the gear to help automate everything. If you want to see some other cool stuff we're working on, click here.